Hi everyone, my name is Jessie. Thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel today. I am a goal-oriented working mom and I create content all about personal growth and development. And for me in 2022, that is going to include topics on fitness and finance. I am really excited about today's video because tomorrow is payday and I want to share with you the new payday routine that I have adopted over the last couple months that has given me a lot more control over my budget, has helped me to be more successful with my finances. There was a time when I was thousands of dollars in debt. I had an embarrassingly low credit score, which made it impossible for me to do things like buy a car, rent an apartment. More importantly, I constantly felt like I was in a state of panic because I just knew that I didn't have enough to make the ends meet. My income did not cover my expenses. So I want to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it too. So the reason that this video is being filmed over 2 days is because we need to plan and prepare before that paycheck hits our bank account. So my first thing that I do is I'm gonna write out my budget, and I like to write my budget out per paycheck because each paycheck is going to serve different purposes. Every dollar that hits our bank account has a job. There should not be $1 left in your bank account that is just sitting in your bank account with nothing to do. I also want to make sure that the importance of paying ourselves first is stressed when it comes to setting up your budget. So when I set up my budget for this pay period, of course I included the bills that are going to have to be coming out, the different things that I expect my paycheck to cover, but I also at the top of the list made sure that I have a dedicated amount that's going to my savings account and I have a dedicated amount that's going into my Robinhood account. So there are other very specific things I need to do, and it will require a trip to the bank because I will need to be taking out cash. Number one, I need to take out cash for groceries. Number two, I need to be taking out cash for my sinking funds. And I keep my sinking funds in this accordion style wallet. And again, if you watched a previous video, I did the 52 envelope challenge. So I used the money from that challenge to jumpstart my sinking fund. So I will not be pulling a lot of money from my sinking funds at this point, but I still want to make sure I'm funding my sinking funds because are the categories that are going to protect your budget. A good example of a sinking fund that a lot of people have is a Christmas sinking fund. I have a Halloween sinking fund. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love to decorate my house for Halloween. I love to dress up for Halloween. I love to give the good candy for Halloween. So I know if I don't plan for Halloween, that could really hurt my budget. I am expecting a baby at the end of the summer, so I do have a sinking fund just set up for the baby. I have other things like my son's birthday. I have a gardening fund set up because I love to garden. That can be an expensive hobby if you don't plan accordingly. And then I have other things like car maintenance, self-care, home care, different categories like that. The other thing I'm going to be getting cash for is my envelope stuffing challenge. So I will be starting the 100 envelope challenge. And after having done the 52 envelope challenge, I was really pleased with the result of that. But I have a different idea of how I'm going to organize this challenge. And I watched a ton of these 100 envelope challenge videos. Some people like to pull random envelopes. They're doing this over the course of the year, so they pull 2 envelopes a week. I want to get this challenge done as fast as I can, so I will be pulling more than 2 envelopes at a time. And you'll see that I have 100 envelopes. I've marked them off 1 through 100. So every number that's on an envelope is how many dollars I'm going to put in the envelope. And you'll see that I have a clip here. I've clipped off my smallest amount, so 1 through 20. And I did that because I want to save those. I want to save those for maybe when there's a couple weeks that are just going to be too tight, or maybe once these are all filled up, I'll just wipe this out with a trip to the bank. And I'm going to start by pulling my largest envelopes and stuff those first. And after doing all of my budget, I'll be able to pull $670 and dedicate it specifically for my 100 envelopes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my envelopes that I'm going to be stuffing. I'm going to keep a list of the money that I need to pull from the bank. So let's go ahead and start pulling some of those envelopes. So I'm gonna start by pulling the three biggest. So you can see 100, 99, 98, which means that there's $373 left to keep pulling from the envelopes. So I'm just gonna pull the next highest, which is 97, 96. I'll be able to pull one more big one. Now we're at 85. So rather than pull like 85, I would actually like to pull something maybe from the middle. Pull 34, which puts us at 51. So I can pull another like smaller envelope. Pull 31. And now 20 would be what's left. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that because I don't want to pull my 20 yet. When I speak to you again, it will be tomorrow for payday. Good morning, everyone. And today is payday. So I've already paid myself first and I put my designated amount into my savings account. I have already put my designated amount into my Robinhood account. And I have also paid a couple bills because I have some of my bills set up on AUTOPAY. So now I'm on to my other thing that I do very first when I get paid. I'm at the gas station. So I am about to fill up my tank. One of the first things I do when I get paid, I fill up my gas tank because I'm going to spend this money on gas anyway. I might as well keep my tank filled and avoid any emergency. And then I will be making a stop at the bank. I've done pretty much everything I need to do as far as all my steps for my paydays. I got my cash for my groceries, and I've pretty much taken care of all my bills or made sure that they're taken care of if they're coming out at a later date. And now I just need to finish up my payday routine with putting the cash into the appropriate envelope. I am a big fan of Dave Ramsey, and I know he would rather me just wipe out those student loans, just get those paid off, get those taken care of. But as I shared in the 52 envelope challenge, I would much rather just stay the course with that. I am paying a lot for my student loan right now, but that's the only debt that I have. Everything else that I'm making, I'm now able to put towards savings and investing. We have an Ally savings account for my long-term savings goals and my bigger savings goals. My long-term goals include things like buying a house, and my family and I, we plan to buy a house in St. Petersburg, Florida. And that is not going to be in the next 12 months, but maybe in the next 24 months that it will be a reality. And we do plan to relocate back down to St. Petersburg, Florida before we buy a house, so we will be renting. And again, this is not going to be happening in 2022, but probably in 2023. We want to get our finances completely in order. I want to have a very specific amount of money saved for that cross-country move and saved for rent so that we can keep being very aggressive in our savings for our house. Because going through this debt-free journey, I have a pretty deep conviction that debt is dumb. I'd like to buy a new car and I refuse to go into debt because of a car. So I have goals to save for a car. But that was a long rant, all of that to say, let's start the stuffing for our 100 envelope challenge. So one thing I learned from the 52 envelope challenge is that once you start to stuff your envelope, that box actually gets really tight. So once I stuff an envelope, I'm going to be keeping it in this zipper pouch. I got this a few years ago in a cool little funky shop, in Spokane, Washington when I went there for Bloomsday. I used to run Bloomsday every year and I'd like to get back into that, but I had some issues with my hip, so I've had to take a break from running for the last couple of years, but I do plan to get back into it. I end up using this little pouch for the most random of things, but for now, I'm gonna be using it to store my 100 envelopes. So once I stuff an envelope, like I did, I stuffed 100 envelopes, I'll put it in this pouch. I won't pull any envelopes out until it's all stuffed. Okay, so at this point, every single dollar from my paycheck has a job. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel so you are following along my savings journey, my 100 envelope challenge. I will continue to post updates for that. I want to know what your savings goals are for 2022. What are you saving for? My channel on YouTube, my presence on YouTube is small, but I do have a goal to grow my channel. So I appreciate everybody that is supporting me right now. I know at this point it's really just close friends and family members, but I am so grateful for you. And I really hope that my videos are inspiring and motivating. It motivates me to make these videos. I feel like these videos are a form of accountability for me. And yeah, thanks again for those of you who are still here, and I really hope to see you next time.